All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. Today we've got a big one. We're talking about WrestleMania, the bottom division in a brand new wrestling league. And to help me break it down, I've got Justin Timberlake and, of course, Batman.
Yeah, Joe, I still don't know how I ended up here. But, hey, I'm game. Let's do this.
WrestleMania 3. It's complicated, like Gotham at midnight.
Right, of course. So here's the deal. WrestleMania 3 is the starting ground for these wrestling teams. It's like AAA for pro wrestling. The only way these guys make it out is winning points, titles, and monthly tournaments. Otherwise, they're stuck right here in the Division of Dreams.
I feel like you just described every reality show I've ever seen.
This isn't a reality show. This is survival. Each team has 3 men, 2 women, all fighting to escape the bottom.
Yeah, and let's talk teams. You've got squads with names like the Scarlet Tigers, Golden Cobras, and Obsidian Serpents. I mean, it sounds like a wildlife documentary on acid. Justin, what do you think?
I'm just picturing a bunch of wrestlers rolling up in tiger print spandex and singing power ballads. Golden Cobras. Sounds like a rock band that opens for, I don't know, Kiss.
Cobras don't need spandex. They need focus and discipline.
All right, Batman, noted. But seriously, every month, teams battle for points. They don't just win matches. They need to score high. And then at the end of each month, we've got this insane division championship cup where teams get eliminated one by one. Last one standing takes the cup.
It's basically Survivor meets cage fighting, and if you lose, your team can literally get kicked out of the division. Relegation is no joke.
Relegation is the consequence of failure. Only the strong survive, and the smart.
And here's the fun part. If you get promoted, you can draft wrestlers from teams that get relegated. So imagine you're on a losing team, right? You have a rough month, you're headed to the bottom, and then, boom, a stronger team picks off your best guy.
So it's like a breakup. Just when you're down, someone takes your best friend, and you're left with the cat and a stack of CDs.
Rebuilding is essential, but if you lose your best, you're forced to rely on your wits and sheer force of will.
Right. And every division has these championship belts. Division champ, tag champ, female champ, and then we've got the king of the division belts. Basically, who's the baddest dude and lady of the month. Because obviously, that title needs to be decided monthly.
Oh yeah. Who doesn't need to know who the king of division is every 30 days? I mean, they're practically royalty by now.
Kings don't sit on thrones here. They fight and they defend what they've earned, if they're worthy.
Now, if you're following along, each team is racking up points and fighting for their belts. But then there are tournaments and random surprise matches. Basically, any excuse to shake things up. They're forced to adapt or they're out.
I mean, it's brutal. Imagine being on top 1 month and in the gutter the next. 1 minute you're the hero, and the next, you're the guy who couldn't get a single match win.
Weakness invites attack. That's why you can't afford a bad month, ever.
But let's not forget the yearly draft, where teams completely reshuffle. It's chaos. You think you've got your crew figured out, and then you're teamed up with new faces, with new rivalries and alliances. It's like getting a new roommate every month.
Or worse, like getting a new roommate who thinks they're the lead singer in your band. Every month.
Change is inevitable. Only the prepared will thrive.
All right, so that's WrestleMania 3. It's a brutal division, a monthly fight for survival, and a chance for the unexpected. Anything could happen.
Exactly. These wrestlers are either on the way up or on the way out. WrestleMania 3 is where you figure out which one you are.
And remember, in this division, every win counts. Every point matters. Only the strong will rise, but the patient will endure.
There you have it, folks. WrestleMania 3, the Proving Grounds. Stick with us because this season is going to be one for the books. Thanks for joining us. We're just going to take a quick break. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today's a big one. We're talking WrestleMania 3. I've got Justin Timberlake with me. And Batman. Should I call you Bruce or...
Batman is fine.
Okay, and so, guys, how about these team names?
Well, let's be honest. Some of these names are interesting. Golden Cobras, Scarlet Tigers. I feel like I'm back in high school, picking a mascot for the debate club.
No, Justin. Cobras and tigers are strategic creatures, survivalists. But here, I'm not sure every wrestler on these teams knows what survival even means.
Exactly. I mean, look at the Golden Cobras lineup. They've got Akira Tozawa, a guy who's more unpredictable than a UFC fighter on a coffee binge. And paired with Big Boss Man, it's like mixing an MMA brawler with a mall cop.
Yeah, and don't forget their women's lineup. Isla Dawn and Gigi Dolan. Isla's got that dark, mysterious vibe, like she'd show up late to her own match, just to mess with people.
That's the kind of unpredictability that wins battles, or loses them. But Gigi Dolan, she has the presence. She knows how to unnerve her opponent. She just needs direction.
All right, let's talk about the Scarlet Tigers. This team is wild. we've got AJ Styles, a guy who can move like a cat, with Damian Priest, who looks like he's been pulled out of a 1980s metal band lineup.
Yeah, and with AJ's aerial moves and Priest, whatever he's got going on, it's like Cirque du Soleil meets a Halloween party.
AJ Styles is fast, strategic, but Priest, he needs focus. Energy spent in intimidation can be a waste if it's not backed up.
And on the women's side, they've got Alba Fire and Wendy Chu. Now, Alba, she's a fighter. Wendy, though, she wrestles in pajamas. I'm serious. She's like a wrestler who missed her alarm and showed up as is.
That's got to be some next-level confidence. I mean, imagine walking into the ring in your PJs. Either you're insanely good or you just don't care.
Sometimes deception is the best weapon, but a lack of preparation, that's a risk.
All right, next up is the Obsidian Serpents. These guys are packing some serious star power with Braun Strowman and Dexter Lumis. Strowman's basically a human freight train, and Lumis, he's got that creepy, silent, I might be a serial killer vibe.
So you've got a giant and a guy who's basically a horror movie villain. They might scare their opponents, but, I mean, how do they get along in the locker room?
Fear isn't a tactic, it's a weapon. But Loomis, he's volatile. And that can either bring unexpected victories or collapse the whole team.
And they've got Raquel Rodriguez and Sonya Deville on the women's side. Now, Raquel's a powerhouse, but Sonya, she's got this MMA background, which I respect, but she's intense, like talking to the manager intense.
Yeah, with that lineup, the Serpents might be the team you see hanging out in the corner of the locker room, sizing everyone else up. It's like the high school group you don't want to mess with.
They have strength, and strength without weakness is rare in WrestleMania 3.
Finally, let's look at the Crimson Falcons. We've got Chad Gable and Cameron Grimes leading the charge. Now, Gable's legit. Olympic background, great technique, and Grimes, he's got this wrestling hillbilly millionaire persona going on.
Yeah, Gable's probably doing push-ups while Grimes is trying to buy cryptocurrency in the corner. It's a real dynamic partnership.
Gable has discipline. Grimes has unpredictability. Together, they could be dangerous if Grimes can focus.
And they've got Tegan Knox and Shotzi for the women's lineup. Shotzi's got this punk rock tank driving vibe, while Tegan's, well, a bit more reserved. Not exactly the most balanced team, but hey, it could work.
Shotzi is basically wrestling's answer to Mad Max, and Tegan is the sensible one who keeps her grounded. That team-up's either genius or a total disaster.
Every team needs balance. Too much recklessness and you fail. Too much restraint. And you'll never leave WrestleMania 3.
All right, so we've got everything: animals, monsters, powerhouses, and pajama wrestlers. What do you guys think? Who's going to make it out of WrestleMania 3?
Honestly, I'm rooting for the Scarlet Tigers. Anyone who's willing to fight alongside a pajama-wearing wrestler and a metalhead deserves some kind of title.
I see potential in the Obsidian Serpents, but they'll have to harness their strengths. Weakness invites attack.
Well, there you have it. WrestleMania 3 is full of wild cards, and honestly, it's anyone's guess. Thanks for joining me, Justin, Batman. This division's about to be a battle. And folks, keep an eye out for some chaos because it's about to get weird.